I think my brakes are f***ed. Why am I getting bleeped? All I said was f***ed. It happened again. I said fried, not f***ed. Hey, how's it going? My name is Joe. Last November I made a video about my first track day experience with my M3. It was a lot of fun. If you haven't seen it yet, please do check it out. Following that video, I've had some comments and discussions on forums with other owners. One common question I had from people was about the brakes. In fact, there was something that I did wanted to mention in the original video, but I didn't want to make that video run for too long. And also I wanted to keep this as a separate video, even though they are related. Okay, let's break down what happened. As mentioned, it was my first ever track day experience with my M3. As you might have guessed, I wasn't going that fast since I don't consider myself a driving god by any stretch of imagination.
I am a driving god!
Plus the track was quite wet for the most part of the day. At most I was probably going around 80 to 100 miles per hour at the fastest section. It wasn't long before I noticed that I was getting some significant noise and brake fade and vibration coming through the steering wheel during hard deceleration, which was rather nerve-wracking at times, especially for a beginner like me. I didn't know when or if it might just give up its ghost and not stop. However, I continued on and made regular stops to try and see if cooling down would help, but each time I went out again after a few laps, the same problem would reappear again. Oh, by the way, just to clarify, I'm running stock original disc and pads on the M3 with standard brake fluid. With that said, I safely finished the day, and at the end, the brakes, although didn't show any signs of cracks, they did change its color to a tint of blue, as you can see here. According to the internet at least, excessive heat will turn the rotors blue. If it's just the colors, fair enough, no big deal. But since I was getting the noise and vibration coming through the steering wheel, clearly something isn't quite right. Probably a warped disc, my guess, hence the vibration. The question is, shouldn't the brakes hold up just a little bit more, considering that the M3 is supposed to be the ultimate driving machine? Particularly since I wasn't even hammering it that hard. I think the only car I overtook that day was a Citroen Saxo, and it was probably slowing down to get back to the pit lane anyway. Now I'm just guessing here. My theory is either A, the M3 brakes are crap, or B, since I don't drive my car very often, and even when I do, I don't use my brakes a lot in traffic, as I tend to anticipate the traffic and just lift off rather than braking all the time. Maybe in turn made the disc and pads less effective. Maybe it's the age of my pads also. My car is from 2010 and at around 32,000 miles, it's still on the original pads and discs. Feel free to chip in down below if you have any suggestion to see why this might be the case. I don't know when I might take the car to a track again, but before I do, clearly I need to fix this issue. I thought about maybe replacing the pads with something better, but watching this engineering explained video seemed to suggest that OEM pads are almost as good as aftermarket performance ones. Also, my concern is that wouldn't a more aggressive pad simply just destroy the disc even further? If that were the case, maybe a full-blown big brake kit would solve this issue, but I'm not going to track days often. This seemed like an overkill in my case, even if this does help, but not only that, I've read this story from a forum user about his AP BBK 6-pot fading after a few laps already. Anyway, that's probably another whole different ball game if we are talking about big brake kits. Here's my final thought. It really made me realize that power isn't everything, but I guess sometimes if you want to go quick, you have to stop faster first. Okay, that's it for today's video. As always, thank you very much for watching, and please do let me know if you have any comments, theories, or experience on this subject matter, which would in turn help me and hopefully others who may come across this video in the future. Anyway, that's it, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.